questions per person a maximum, please, and also use the microphone available and state the name and organisation you work for before you ask your questions. And at the end, we'll have a short section embargoed until 10:30 p.m. this evening. So I'd like to hand over to Mark Bullingham.
Great, thanks, Andy. This is a really exciting day for the English game. We've appointed one of the very best coaches in the world and one of the very best young English coaches as his number 2. Our aim is always to win a major tournament, and we believe Thomas gives us the best possible chance to do that at the next Men's World Cup. We had a clear recruitment plan in place before the Euros, and John McDermott and the team developed our ideal profile for an international coach and a shortlist if we needed it. After Gareth resigned, we executed that plan. We met and evaluated potential candidates. Thomas was absolutely outstanding, providing a really clear vision for the role and how he would work with our players to get the best out of them and to give us the best chance in the World Cup. We were delighted to sign contracts with Thomas last Tuesday, but wanted to wait for the international window to be over before we announced. We're also delighted that Ant is joining us as one of the most exciting young English coaches around. Before I pass to Thomas, I'd like to thank Lee Carsley for stepping into the role for 6 matches. He's handled himself really well, and I'm sure will continue to do so. Lee will manage the team for the November international window and then return to lead the under-21s, trying to defend their European Championship title. I would also like to thank Gareth and Steve. The fact that we had such a high level of interest in this role is testament to the foundations they laid over their 8 years with us. Thomas, would you like to say a few words?
Of course, thank you, Mark, and hello to everybody. I'm, of course, obviously very excited and honored to be here today as a new head coach of England. I just had the chance to read a quote from Pelé in the building in Wembley, who said that Wembley is the heart, the capital, and the cathedral of football, and I think he was absolutely right. So I want to take the opportunity to thank the FA, especially Mark and John, for their trust, and I'm very excited to start this journey in January with you, with the staff at St. George's Park and at Wembley, and of course with a very special and exciting group of players to make our dream come true in America.
Well, Thomas.
Hi.
Congratulations. It's Rob Dawson from Sky Sports. Nice to see you. Look, you've had some huge jobs in football already.
Yeah.
Is this your biggest challenge? And with that in mind, would it be your biggest achievement if you led England to a major title?
I understood very quickly that it's a big job. I think it's always the job you're in is the biggest job that you don't get, and it does not make a lot of sense to compare. But it feels big, and it feels, like I said, like a privilege. It is very new because I come from club football, so the rhythm, the responsibility, the role is a new role, which is also very exciting. I was very open for that and liked the idea of it. Once Mark and John made clear to me that this job is about football, we never lost the momentum, and once I made a time frame up in my mind from January to the World Cup, I felt already excited, and that it suited my passion and my strive to push this group of players and to be part of this federation with such a strong record in the last tournaments to push it over the line and to try to put a second star on the shirt.
Good luck. Mark, your statement was... Sorry, I didn't mean that the way it sounded. It was a little bit flippant, that, wasn't it? I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Mark, your statement was unequivocal, really, in saying that your entire criteria, your primary criteria, was to appoint somebody that could deliver a major trophy. Is it an uncomfortable truth for you, though, the fact that Thomas isn't English?
So, Rob, we were always really clear that we wanted the very best person for the job, and we feel like we owe it to the players and the country to give them that support, that leadership in tournaments that will help to get them over the line and give us the best chance of winning a trophy in the Men's World Cup. So we feel we've done that. We feel delighted that Thomas has joined us.
Thomas, Dan Rowan, BBC. There'll be many England fans who are very excited about your arrival, given your vast experience, the trophies you've won, your pedigree. What would your message be, though, to those fans who would have preferred the England team to be managed by an English coach? And do you understand their position?
I'm sorry, I just have a German passport, but I can just tell them, and maybe all of these supporters also felt my passion for the English Premier League, my passion for the country, how I love to live here and how I love to work here. So my memories are on the highest level of that played a huge role. And hopefully I can convince them and show them and prove them that I'm proud to be the English manager. I will do everything to show respect to this role and to this country. And the target for the next 18 months is nothing else than the biggest one in world football, and everyone can be assured of, no matter what nationality my passport says.
And Mark, if I may ask, you say in your statement you interviewed several candidates. Can you shed any light, a bit more detail on that? For example, how many? Were any English? Was Lee Carsley ever a realistic possibility? Can you give us any more details about who else you spoke to?
Sure, Dan. As you'd understand, the whole process was confidential, and I understand at times that might have been frustrating for people, but we had to maintain that confidentiality for us, but also really more importantly for the candidates. So I'll say a few things, but I'll hold it at that. So we interviewed approximately 10 people, and we did interview some English candidates within that. As to anything further, you wouldn't expect me to divulge any details, really.
Thomas, Steve Scott from ITV News. Chelsea fans will know you very well. Other Premier League fans will know you well, but obviously England fans are a much bigger group than that. So for those who don't know you, what sort of person are you? Can you describe your personality?
My personality?
Your personality.
Well, maybe I try to describe my coaching personality, but I think it's pretty obvious. I'm very emotional, and I love I love what I'm doing. I'm passionate about football, and like we said before, this task and this role just brought the young me alive, and it brought back my teenage days, to get excited for such a big task, for the Three Lions, for playing matches at Wembley, for working with this group of players. So everyone can be assured that we will do it with passion and with emotions, and we will try to install values and principles and rules as quickly as possible to make the dream come true. First, we have to, of course, go through the qualification process to the World Cup, but it starts for us in January, and we will dive in completely.
Gareth Southgate developed a very specific culture within the England camp. Will you try and maintain that, or do you think you need to create your own, one that's more aligned to you?
No, we will build on it. We will build on it. I think Gareth and the FA did a fantastic job in terms of stability and consistency. Look at the last results in the tournament. It's a quarter-final, semi-final, and two finals in the last four tournaments. It's outstanding. The under-21s win titles. The younger teams are in the competition to win titles. The women team wins titles. So we are there. I think the federation is there, and it was a big part of taking that job. I am curious. I want to learn. I will have a different schedule than in club football, but it was a big part. That's the knowledge and the quality of the federation to have that at my side, and to combine it with my ideas, with our ideas. So we will build on everything that Gareth built and the FA built, and hopefully we can add a little bit of extra to get it over the line.
Thomas, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
You took an English team, Chelsea, to a Champions League final against Manchester City, who were overwhelming favourites going into that, and won. What does the prospect of 58 years of hurt mean to you, and are you relishing putting a second star on an England shirt?
Like I said, I got Mark and John made very clear that it's about football, and this excited me very quickly, because I was not sure before we had this first talk if this is a role for me, like in international football, because the schedule is very different from club football. But then we found so many similarities and so many things that suited my approach and my hunger to achieve special things. I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league, and of the players. The attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters, who that shapes the players, and the character of the players was one of a kind. And that's why the offer came in the absolutely right time. We kept the momentum in, and within weeks we found a vision to share, and a project and an adventure that I'm very happy to be a big part of. And now I have to live up to it, of course. And I know that there are some trophies missing in the federation, and of course I want to help to make it happen.
You just said in a social media post, you said that you would like to put another star on our shirt.
Yeah.
You're already pledging your allegiance, as it were. A big question for Lee Castley had to answer. Will you sing the national anthem? Does an England manager need to?
Yeah, I understood from Mark that it's a personal decision, first of all, if you sing it, and there were managers who sang it and others who didn't. I have not made my decision yet. I want to be very honest with you. Your anthem is very moving. The English anthem is very moving. I experienced it several times here at Wembley, and even out with the players in a FA Cup final. So it was very touching. No matter what decision I will take, we have a bit time until March. I will always show my respect to my new role, to the country, and of course to a very moving anthem. But as this is a new subject, I will take a little bit time for this decision.
Just a reminder, state name and organisation.
Rob Harris from Sky News. Welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you prepared for the pressure and intensity that the England job brings? And was that something that was on your mind in the past? Perhaps managers decided not to take this role because of the spotlight on their private life and things like that?
This is always the last thing I think about, and because I'm up for the pressure on the sportive side. I'm up for the big challenge. I'm up for the task. I'm up for these 18 months to work with this group and be part of this amazing federation. So these are all the reasons to jump in. The pressure on the personal side, or the pressure that comes from media and that could arise if things don't go so well, is never part of the decision making, and I don't feel it so much. I feel it, of course, then in the process, but it's always it's always a privilege, and my love and my passion for the game is always much more than the downside of it.
And from watching England at recent tournaments, how do you think you can make the difference and turn this team into trophy winners?
I think, first of all, they are there. We are there. The players proved, the group of players proved that they are there. The consistency of quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals is impressive. And it shows that we have players who compete in the strongest league in the world, day in, day out. So we have the ingredients. And we fully trust that this is the moment to install, maybe also from club football, patterns, behaviors, principles that can maybe help to push the team over the line. We will need luck. We will need the momentum. We will need to be lucky to not have injuries and so on, and little decision within the games. That is a given. But we feel confident to add something from our experience in club football that can maybe help. But most important is to, even if we speak out now very openly what the target is about the second star, we have to prove ourselves all the time. You're a national player every single day. I will be a national coach every single day, and not only when a camp is. So we have to live up to these standards, but I'm very confident that everybody is used to that. So this is what I demand from myself, and then we need to show it in qualification and build an atmosphere with the supporters and the country that extra special things can happen.
Rob Brimby, ARD Television, German TV's London Bureau.
Wow.
Es gibt Leute, eine Frage auf Deutsch, wenn es möglich ist. Es gibt Leute, die sagen, dass der Nationaltrainer muss aus England kommen. Wie können sich solche Vorurteile überwinden?
I think they have a point. Oh, you want to shall I translate?
English.
Shall I translate?
Yeah. English questions from now on. But if you answer.
I think everyone has its opinion, and I can understand even an opinion when someone says, like, I would fancy an English coach more for the English team. I can understand it, but I think we deserve a fair chance. We deserve the credit for having a good record in the country, for never being shy of how much we love to live in the country and how much we enjoy to work with the players in Premier League. So maybe this counts a little bit for a British edge on my German passport, and so we will try to convince them by results and by the way we play.
In English then, Gareth Southgate was described as, by many people, as sympathetic, human and emotionally intelligent. How would you describe yourself?
I think we're all human. I mean, we're all human, and this is a big part of the job. I think, like I said, I am impressed of the record that Gareth provided with this team, and I am very well aware of what he built together with Mark and John in the federation as a foundation. And now it's on us to leave our own marks, to leave our own footprints, and we will try to take the next step from there.
Hi, Thomas. Congratulations. It's been widely reported that you've signed an 18-month contract. Is that true, firstly? And secondly, if so, how do you feel about potentially only having one shot at a tournament?
Well, let's see. Let's see. It's 18 months, and then we agreed to sit together, and then we see. I mean, I have good experience with 18 months, personally. Unfortunately, also, sometimes I'm working on my long-term game, but you never know. The point was, in this particular case, that it was important for me to have a frame around it, because it's a little bit a step into the unknown for me. I am used to work on a daily basis with the staff. I'm used to work with a daily basis on the team, to have the influence on 60, 80 people in a training camp on every single day, to be 3 days a week away in hotel rooms and prepare matches. And this will be very different. So, like the last piece of bit for me to understand that this is something that can really excite me to the fullest, and was the time frame of 18 months. To not also and to also to demand from myself to not lose the focus for all of us. So I think it's a good time frame, because it will help us to focus. We are focused on the qualification and on the World Cup. It will help us in the nomination process. It will help us in the communication towards the players within the staff. So I think this is now very streamlined and very easy to explain. We are here to work on the best possible outcome for the World Cup 26, and then let's see. Whatever comes.
You obviously came in at Chelsea and had an immediate impact and won the Champions League in a matter of months. Do you think that experience is translatable to England and the time frame you've got now?
I think so, yes, but I'm not fully sure, because I have to feel into it. The schedule will be different, the workload will be different, but I wanted this. I wanted exactly this once Mark and John presented me the opportunity and made it very clear that it's about me and that they trust me with this process in pushing this team. I was very happy now to have the chance also to learn on this process, to have the strong foundation and stability and quality of the federation, to get better, to get smarter, and to get better while I'm on this job. So that this was a big part of it.
And just finally,
James, it's 2 questions. Come across to Henry Winter here, please. We've got time for a few more in this section, so if we can limit it to one question each, that'd be great. Thank you.
Hi, Thomas. Henry Winter, World Soccer. First, congratulations. And secondly, you know Harry Kane well.
Yeah.
Did you speak to him before taking the job? And will he remain your captain?
I did speak to no one. We kept the process very confidential between Mark, John, and me. I did not speak to Harry. I didn't speak to Gareth. I also normally I never do this to get my own feeling for it and get my own point of view and let it sink in and reflect on it. So no, haven't done it yet. You know, it's too early to answer these kind of questions. You know how highly I think and feel for Harry and how much I fought to bring him to Bayern Munich, and so he is already on his way to be a legend in English football. But now I think it's also very important to give the respect to Lee and the camp, the upcoming camp in November, to take his decisions free and without me interfering, and then we will answer this question latest in March.
Hi, Thomas. James Robson, Associated Press. You said it was a goal to get back to England. Can I ask why?
Say again?
You said it was a goal to get back to England
Yeah.
for you. Can I ask why you chose England over, say, Manchester United, who you've been strongly linked with?
Which would also have been England, but in
But why
the
the
country.
England national team?
Because the idea and the way John and Mark presented it was very fast, very exciting, and it was very confidential, it was very trustful, it was very straightforward, and yeah, that was basically a decision for this job and not a decision against anything else. You will understand that I will not comment on individual players today, and for sure not comment, like always, on any other clubs.
Can I ask, Mark, were you rejected by anyone? Or was Thomas the only person you offered the job to?
We ran a really clear process. We spoke with 10, like I say, approximately 10 people throughout the process. Clearly some were more up for the role than others, but we were absolutely delighted to end up with Thomas, and we believe he gives us the best chance of winning the World Cup, so we believe we've got the best candidate for the job.
Okay, sorry to disappoint those waiting. We'll have to end the live section at that moment. From this moment onwards, it's embargoed until 10:30 p.m. this evening. We'll also make this one question per person so we can get through as many of you as possible. Ian Laderman, do you want to take the mic?
Hi, Thomas. Ian Laderman from the Daily Mail. Kind of two short questions in one, really. And Mark, you may have an input. Why are you not starting for the November internationals? Got two very big games coming up. And secondly, did the FA make a prerequisite that you live in England, and will you live in England?
I love to live in England. I'm looking forward to living again in England. I want to be close to Premier League. I want to be close to the majority of the players. But of course, the schedule will also allow me to be close to my family, my children in Germany. So, but yeah, I will be in England.